everyone attempted to complete their calculator yesterday, and we shall be having a presentation about calculators at the end of this class. Now, so by the end of this lesson, you should expect to learn how we use more blocks in Scratch, and then what recursion is and how we apply it. And then we shall apply those skills to design more complex programs. So as we already know that Scratch gives you the option of choosing from so many blocks that are already predefined for you. But wouldn't it be so cool if you could create your own blocks and then have people use them, have you use them in different programs, or maybe you can use them to add things that Scratch doesn't do, to simplify your code, and also to create more pieces of code that are easy to use from different places of the program. So Scratch 3 gives you that option of customizing your own blocks, and that block is what you see at the end here, which has my blocks. And so in the next 15 minutes, we are going to discuss this particular lesson should take us only about 15 minutes. And we want to attempt to make an algorithm which draws shapes in Scratch. And so this is how we are going to be able to understand how we use more blocks. So let me open my Scratch and we get started. So the more blocks section is this one where you see my blocks. So when I click on my blocks and then I click on make a block, I just want to, you can be able to create different blocks that are not in Scratch. So before we build any block, I just want us to try to come up with a shape, which is a square. So let's see who can try annotate my screen and then take me through the process of drawing a square on my screen. Let me see. Okay, just a moment. All right, so I can see, whose hand is that? I can see Philip's hand. So Philip, you can please go ahead.
Okay.
So to make things easy, okay, so I just wanted you to draw, anyway, this is how I wanted you to draw. So that's right, you have a square, but then the process that you go through while drawing a square, you would have to first draw the first line like this. And after drawing the first line, you need to turn. If this is the pencil, you have to turn the pencil 90 degrees to face down, and then it draws a square. After that, then you need to turn again 90 degrees. So this is 90. You turn 90 degrees, and then even here you turn 90 degrees to come this side, and then you turn 90 degrees to go upwards like that. So this is the logic that you have to use when you're programming your algorithm for drawing a square or a function that we are going to come up. So this is 90 degrees, and we know that a square has two sides, has four sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we know that the total sum, when you add 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, all the angles add up to 360. So that's all you need to know in order to draw an algorithm which will have a square here. So what I will do first is to come to my blocks, then I make a block and I call it square. And then I press OK. So I'm defining a function. This the instructions that I'm going to write below this block of square is going to be a function to draw a square. How do we do that? So who wants to try? What do you think we should add in order to draw a square? Who wants to try? If I wanted to draw a square, what blocks would I come up with? Yes, Phil? Okay, let's have Trinity and Trevor.
Good morning, Teacher Solomon.
Morning.
I think we go to extensions and get the function for pen.
Why do you think that?
Because since we are going to draw, when I read through the functions of pen, I saw the options of like stamping, pen up, pen down. So I think we shall need a pen in order to draw the square.
Shall need a pen in order to draw. Very good. Who else has an explanation? Or has another idea of drawing a square? Okay, so I think Trinity and Trevor are right. And when we come here to extensions, we are going to find the extension for pen here. And when we click on pen, we are going to have these blocks available for us. And what's the first step when you want to draw something on paper? So the first step, what I would go through is to first get the pen and then put it down on the paper. But before I do that, I want to erase everything, which is, okay, let me just not erase. I want to put the pen down on the paper. And after putting the pen on the paper, what I will have to do is to set the pen color, which color I want my, my drawings to be. So if I choose purple, my pen is going to have the color purple. Then I set the pen size here, maybe to 5. And so how do I now draw the square? This is just now to get the pen. I've gotten the pen and I know the color and the size of the pen. How do I draw a square here? So what I have to do is to go to Control and I start thinking. What I have to think is a square has 4 sides. And if I'm to make a square, I have to move. So I have to use something from the motion here, which is move. Or even change will work. let's try to move for first. Then I have to go to control. And since I don't want it to, the if can't work, the forever can't work, but because forever will draw it continuously. But if I set it to repeat the drawing of the line only 4 times, because I need 4 lines. And how am I drawing? I'm drawing by moving. So while moving, let me just show you what happens. If I just say move, let me hide this cut. If I just click this, it's just going to draw a line. It's moving, but it's not turning. So if I wanted to, after drawing this line to turn down, I will go to motion and I get my turn here, which is the second block, put it inside the repeat, and let me try to put 90 degrees. And we see if I click here. So let me first erase everything through the pen here. And then I see what happens. So it draws a square if I put turn, but the square is too small. How about if I put move 100 steps? Would it be bigger? Let me try and see. So it would be bigger, as we can see. So this is the algorithm for drawing a square, but it's not complete. After making the drawing, you need to put the pen up, remove the pen from the paper, otherwise it will keep on drawing unnecessary writings. So I'll put the pen up after drawing, yeah, like this, outside the if, outside the repeat. After repeating 4 steps, then you put the pen up. Now, this is just a function. This is just a function. It can do nothing, because even if I press space or green flag, nothing happens here. But how do I call that function to be executed here? I can use any block. I can go to events and maybe say when space is clicked, but I don't want it to be space. For square, I want it to be S. So when someone clicks S, maybe it can draw the square.
Hmm?
Okay, sorry about my network, but what I was trying to say here is so what I was trying to say, after this, you say when green flag is clicked, you come to events and say when green flag is clicked, then then you do you select the square here. So let's try that and see. All right, so is everyone able to hear me? I see Jeff says they are not hearing me. Is everyone hearing me? Everyone else?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Now, this means that whenever before even I draw the circle here, when I press the green flag, I should first erase everything on the screen, then I draw the square. So when I click the green flag here, it's going to draw a square here. But what if I told it to go to a random position in order to draw the square anywhere, not just at this point? So I would go maybe to motion, and I say go to random position, and then draw a square here. So now when I click the green flag, it will always go to random position, and then it draws the square like that. And what if I wanted it to be changing the color of the square each time it changes the random position? So let me now see. Let me see that. If I went to my looks here, and then I just made it to change, maybe let's say change color effect by maybe 25 or even any number. Let me just try for 25 and we see. So it's not changing anything. What if I made it to change the color effect by 50? Let me make it by 5 and we see. So it's not changing anything. So what I have to do is to maybe keep on changing the color of the pen instead of changing the color effect of this. So instead of using color effect, let me try to say if I change the pen color here. So change pen color by 10, and then we see what happens. So still it's not very significant. Okay. Let's try to put it inside here. And when we put it inside here, then we can notice some change in the color. But why you see, if it starts the line from here, the lines, if it's drawing at this point here, since this is the edge, it will try to draw the line, then the lines won't be complete. And that's why when I bring the square, at least to draw this, the lines are passing through, as you can see here, because this is the edge, it can't go through. And that's why there is this extension of the line. So what if I made this to be maybe 400 or 3? Let me make it 200 and we see. I click the green flag, our square will be a little bit bigger. So let's try out this. Let me first move this. And now I want to make an algorithm which draws the squares forever. So if I bring the forever here and put it inside here, this, and then I want it to be maybe going to random position and maybe changing that color effect. Let me try again, change color effect and see. Change color effect. Let's see. So still, how about if I said change pen color? By 40. And then the size here, I would say maybe 50. Still, it would not change the color effect. But now this is how you can put the weight here. Sorry, I'm just trying to show you can customize it to your own desire. But what I'm trying to just give you is an idea of, I'm not recommending that you make an algorithm which draws squares everywhere here, but that's how you can actually draw an algorithm if you're coming up with any project which you want maybe to keep on popping some new sprites in random positions. This is a kind of a program that you would have to run. So let me now try, to put this here. I think that makes a little bit of sense. Okay, so let's first, before we make it to change the colors, let's try to first have it, if you want to remove the cut, you just hide it. Since it's here, it's being seen, but if I want to hide, I just click on this eye, which has a line crossing over here, then it cancels it. So what if I had another? Let's see. Okay, so let's try to have an algorithm which draws a square. Then we move on to the triangle. And then we shall move on to the after the triangle. We have to draw the circle. I think those will be enough shapes. And I want you to collect those ideas because I'm going to just nominate one person to come up with that. Or everyone is going to be required to come up with the algorithm. Then the first one who makes a circle, will be the winner of today's session. So let me give you about 1 minute. And if you don't understand anything here, please feel free to raise up your hand or just ask in the chat. Yes, Jeff?
Excuse me, teacher. How did you find the pen down and the erase? Oh.
That's why we always encourage everyone to come early in the class, because now for you came late, that's why you didn't know, you don't know where we got the pen down. So who wants to try to answer our question? Let's first hear from Eliona, then we shall get back to you. Please go ahead.
Instead of making squares, my cat is painting the page.
Your cat is doing what?
Painting the page.
You share your screen and we'll see. I'm not seeing any. You don't know how to share your screen. Sorry. Because first of all, your program may be not right. The program that is for defining. So first understand the defining, you didn't put the pen down, that's why it's not drawing. So I can't see clearly, but what I see here is, okay, you can just, let me share my screen and then I explain. Okay, what I'm going to do, this is a square, and let me just save it. Then I draw another shape to now illustrate. So let me start over now to draw. Let me just repeat a square. We said the first thing that you have to do is to go to my blocks here and then make a block. So now this time round, I'm going to make, let me make a triangle. A triangle has 3 sides. Triangle. And what I'm going to do is to press OK here after typing triangle. And then the defined program or function is going to be launched here. And what I have to do is to go to extensions and I get the pen, this draw with your sprites extension here. And what I have to do first is to, if I want to draw anything on paper, I have to put that pen on the paper. So what I do is then I'm going to I like, so maybe green will do 4. Can set the size maybe to 4 now. And what I have to know is the technique or the logic behind drawing a triangle. This is a triangle, if I may draw it, and I want you to see what I go through in drawing a triangle. So a triangle, especially the equilateral triangle here, what I will have to do is to first draw the first line here, slanting like that. And the next thing is to turn. I make it to turn through how many degrees? So that's now the question, how many degrees should it turn? So what I know is the total number okay, the sum of all angles inside any shape is 360 degrees. So if I divide by the number of sides here, in this case, this shape, a triangle has 3 sides. I would, if you're a good mathematician, then you should be telling me we get 120 degrees. This is how we find the angle to turn. For a square, we got 360 divided by 4, and we got 90. That's why we were turning 90 degrees on a what? On a square. For a pentagon, which is 5 sides, we get 360 divided by 5, and that will give us, if I'm not wrong, maybe 72. And if it's a hexagon, which is 6 sides, we get 360 divided by 60, and then we shall get 60. So that's how you go about to get the angles to turn here. Now, since I'm drawing a 3-sided polygon or shape, I'll get 360 divided by 3 to get 120. Now, how do I turn 120 here? When I come back to my shape, I now move, sorry. Let me get another way of drawing this. So I move through 120 degrees, and then I start my drawing here. And then I move through another 120 to start another drawing in order to have a triangle. Let's try to understand this. Let's just take a few seconds to understand this, then you ask. If you're not understanding in it, yes. I see Eleona's hand is up. Do you want to ask any question?
I forgot to put my hand down.
No worries, no worries. This is 120. All over we have 120, 120. Yeah. And even here we have 120. And we are turning through 3 sides. So what I have to do, 120, 120, 120. Now, when I go to my control here and I need to get the repeat. And this time around, I'm going to repeat 3 times because a triangle has 3 sides, as we can see. And what I have to do is to move. So I go to motion and I decide to move. Maybe I can say move 50 steps. And I need to turn, because if I just move, it will just continuously move. It will not turn. Now I need to go to my motion and the second block here, or maybe the third, you can decide whether to draw anti-clockwise or clockwise. So I'm going to turn through 120 degrees, as I said here. And after turning, then I need to put my pen up, remove the pen from paper. So I put the pen up here. That's my function. And I can see my triangle here on the screen. So let's try to just understand. The first thing you have to do is to create a define a function triangle. and then put the pen down. Putting the pen down is putting it on paper. After putting the pen on paper, you set the pen color. If I set mine to be red, or whichever that color is, then I set the pen. If I just maybe reduce the pen size to 1, and I repeat the drawings. Now what is inside the repeat is what is going to be done 3 times. The moving, it moves. First,
120 degrees.
Sorry. Now, what I was trying to say, this repeat means that I'm going to move 50 steps, maybe this side, and then I turn. So the turning is going to be done 3 times. And also the movement is going to be done 3 times, like that. And then we shall have our shape there. So now, since we don't have any event here, we need an event in order to make things easy. And when I go to control here, sorry, to events, and maybe I say when green flag is clicked, just draw a triangle here. I come to my blocks and then I draw a triangle. Meaning when I click the green flag, it's going to draw a triangle. Just that it's drawing it in the same place. So maybe I can say, go to random position under motion. We have already covered this before. And after going to random position, then you draw the triangle like that. And since we reduce the pen size, you see now the triangle is very thin. Or the pen size is very small, as you can see. So this is a program that every time someone presses the green flag, it is going to draw for them a triangle. And that's how now we use functions. Functions are programs that can be reused, or maybe they can be called in any program within the same project, as you can see. So let me just allow whoever is raising up their hand. If I, let me see. Let's have Gerard.
Excuse me, teacher. I was requesting you to slow down a bit because it is very difficult to go on your speed.
All right, sorry about that. How about a call?
My question is, like, I have a concern because I have tried to do what you have done, but the pen is not appearing on the paper.
What do you mean it's not appearing on the paper? Have you put the pen down immediately after this define?
Yes.
Then you put the set pen color and then set. You may have made a mistake and put change instead of set. So you have to use the set pen color, set pen size, then repeat the drawing, and then you put the pen up.
Could I share my screen and show you?
Yeah, you can. You can please share the screen.
That's what I did, and my pen isn't coming.
But you haven't completed the program. You don't have the repeat. You don't have anything down there, and you expect. Are you seeing my screen? What I've been doing on my screen?
Yeah.
Is it the same as what you've done? What do you think is missing on your screen? On your program, sorry. What do you think you're missing? Okay. So let me share my screen again. So what we said, these blocks here are just to enable us to get the pen, and then we set the pen color and then the pen size. Then this program is what actually draws the shape. We get the repeat from control, and we get repeat 10 steps. We put it down here, then we change, instead of 10 steps, we change to 3 because it's a triangle we are going to draw. Then you go to motion and get more 50 steps, and then you turn 120 degrees. And then you get your pen down from the pen here, and then put it down here. And that's the end of this program. Now, this when green flag is clicked is the event which carries on the drawing of the triangle here. Let's give a chance to Crew.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
I want to show you if I've done the right program.
No worries, you can do that. I'm not seeing very well. Let me see. Let me try to pin that. If you are able to share your entire screen, that would be easier for me. Yes, are you still sharing? You can unmute yourself.
I'm using two different devices.
Okay.
I'm using the phone.
You can try sharing again. Try sharing again and we see. Just hold your camera stable, and then maybe I will be able to see what you want me to say.
Okay. Can you see?
Yeah, I can try to see. You put the pen down, you set the pen color, you set the pen size. Then how many times are you repeating? Why are you repeating 10 times? You're supposed to repeat 3 times. If it is if it's a triangle, because it has 3 sides. The repeating, what you're repeating is the number of sides. So if your shape has 3 sides, if it's a triangle and it has 3 sides, then you have to repeat 3 times.
Okay.
You get it?
Thank you.
And let's get to hear from Janine.
Teacher, I just wanted to show you if what I've done is right.
Yeah, very, very good. I like to see that.
This is what I had done.
So you put the moving, so that's perfect. That's brilliant. Now, if you've done that, I want you to also make another, go to my blocks and make another program, which when you press S, it draws a square.
All right.
All right.
Excuse me, teacher. We're trying to draw that. We're trying to join the triangle on the measuring part. The part where I have to put the triangles. Okay, to measure the size.
What do you mean? Try to clarify your question. What's not working? So,
Also, teacher.
so if you want to measure the side, the move
The
steps
figure this
are,
part.
the move this what we have as move steps are the ones which determine the size of the shape here. So let me just first try to have a block which erases everything before drawing another. Maybe if I erase here whenever I first erase what's on the screen, then I draw. So if I made it to be 100 steps, it's going to be a little bit bigger. And if I hide the cut, it's not going to be shown. Then if I increase this number of steps to maybe 200, the triangle is going to be even bigger, larger, and it won't even fit on our screen, as you can see. But if it's drawn around the center where it can fit, it will be a bigger triangle, as you can see. And we say to set the pen size, you have to set it from this block. If I wanted to increase it to 5 and maybe reduce this to 50 to 70, then I would achieve a thicker triangle like that. Let's get to hear from Harley.
Yes, teacher, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Teacher, I've made a block where when you press S, it makes squares.
Do you want to share your screen and we see?
Yes.
That's brilliant. Let me see.
Okay. Share screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, so teacher, I've clicked S and it's drawing the squares.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So let me also show you how to make the same function, to have all the shapes on the same function here, shared. Maybe others who have not understood will understand. Let me see, you can stop sharing your screen. Someone has a question here, let me see. So let me share my screen. Before I share my screen, let me hear from someone else. Okay, everyone I think has asked. If you haven't asked, then please go ahead. I see Christine.
Teacher Solomon, I am asking, how do they make the circles?
Yes.
How do they make the circles?
Okay, that's an assignment that you're going to do. Me, I'm going to do for you 3 shapes, then you're going to draw the circle. So try to think, be thinking about the ideas of drawing a circle. Let's hear from Trinity and Trevor.
Teacher Solomon, can I share my screen? I've made a circle.
Wow, that's brilliant. But
excuse me.
okay, so maybe we shall give you a chance later because of time. Now, when you want to make another shape here, Let me just take this here. So if I come to my blocks again and I create another block, you don't delete this one, but you click make a block. And now this one is going to be a pentagon for 5 sides. Then I'm going to just press OK. Then the pentagon is going to come here. So let me just reduce this. And so to come up with the algorithm for a pentagon, I need to think. First of all, before thinking, I just have to put this pen down here, put the pen on the paper, set the pen color, and then I set the pen size here. After setting the pen size, now I need to go to the control and I get the repeat. And on getting the repeat, this is where the logic has to come in. This is where now you have to think and think. While you're thinking, you have to first know that what you're repeating, this is the drawing. You're repeating the movement. And if you are making a pentagon which has 5 sides, you have to repeat through 5. You have to repeat 5 times. But what are you repeating? You're repeating the movement. The cat is going to be moving as it draws the square or maybe the pentagon, but how many times? So you come to motion and you make it to move maybe, let's say 40 steps 5 times. It moves, goes the other side, then turns. So when I make it to turn, I have to get a block of turn here. And now you need to calculate, as I showed you, how to calculate the degrees to turn. So since it's a pentagon, we said to get the degrees, you get 360 divided by the number of sides. So when I get 360 divided by 5, the answer is 72. You can use your brain calculators. Anyone who is above P2, you should be able to calculate this out of your head. Except some of us who studied during Amini's regime. But we expect kids of nowadays to not use calculators when you're still young. So you expect to just know that when you're dividing 360, you first divide 36 divided by 5, and then you will get 6 maybe, or maybe 7 remainder, 1 or whatever the remainder will be. Me, I'm from my regime, so I cannot get it accurately. Then you get it and divide again by 5, then you get the 2 here. So 360 divided by 5, you get 72, and those are the number of degrees I'm going to add here. So let me just turn this up. So I turn 72 degrees here. The only difficult part in these functions is determining the number of degrees to turn. But if you just know the number of sides of the shape you want to draw, you just get 360 divided by the number of sides, and those are the angles you're going to turn. And after turning, you just need to go back to pen and then put the pen up. Putting the pen up means remove the pen from the paper and have it up. Putting the pen down means put the pen down on the paper and then you start drawing. So if I get my event here and I say when maybe instead of space, let me choose P for pentagon. When P is pressed on my keyboard, what I'm going to do is to first erase everything. So erase everything is under pen. And then I go to random position, which is under motion. With time, you will just be able to remember where this block is. If you keep on practicing, when someone tells you to go to random position, you will always know that it's under motion. the way I can be able to figure out very quickly because I've been using Scratch and I've been practicing every day. So even if you practice every day, these things are going to be on your fingertips. So if you're still not able to figure them out, then you are still in the right place because you're just a few days into this adventure and you're not expected to be knowing everything by now. So you're still doing well. And so when I press P here, I erase everything, then I go to random position, and then I just go to my blocks here and I draw this time a pentagon here. What I can do for, instead of having green flag for, okay, let me just have green flag for triangle. So when I press green flag, it draws the triangle, but when I press P, it draws the pentagon. As you can see, it draws the pentagon when I press P. And I was able to achieve that through this logic of saying 360 degrees divided by 5 equals 70. So in a shape, even if you wanted to draw a shape which has 9 sides or a 9-sided shape or polygon, you will have to get 360 degrees divided by 9 to get the angle to turn, which is going to be the interior angle to turn to make any side. Let's give it a break. Let's take a 1-minute break. If you can have some coffee, please do. If you can have, let's give it 2 minutes to just rest, walk around, try to stretch your hands, take some glass of water, and then get back to make some press-ups for boys if you can, and then come back to the class when you refresh. And at this moment, I'm going to give a chance to Phil. You have a question?
Yes, teacher. When I was making the circle, it does not leave any space inside. It just covers everything.
Okay, now I think now after that's what you're going to do in your breakout rooms. You're going to think within 3 minutes. If you fail to draw, if your group fails to draw a circle, then we shall teach you how to draw a circle. Because I actually don't expect anyone to draw a circle because the circle is the most difficult shape to draw. The rest, this other sided, because the circle, most teachers tell us that circles don't have sides, but then the scientists say circles have sides. So now it's very difficult even for maturers to differentiate or maybe to agree to the fact that a circle has sides. And that's why the team which is going to make a circle they are going to be heroes because they will be scientists. It's only scientists who can draw, who can make an algorithm to draw a circle. So now at this stage, let's first ask questions about these shapes. And after that, if you wanted to draw a square, you would still make it to repeat 4 sides. As you're still in your break, let me just be making a block which draws a square. For those of you who didn't understand the 2 shapes, you can understand from here. We shall come to adding label or maybe input later. For now, it will confuse you. So when I click define a square, my square is going to be here, and I'm going to just put the pen down. And then I set the pen color. I want to change this maybe to yellow. Okay, that color would let me make it purple. So then I set the pen size to maybe 7. And then I repeat the drawings. So I go to control, and then I repeat. If it's a square, then it's going to be 4 sides because you already know a square has 4 sides. And I just go to motion to get my move. It's upon you to decide the length or maybe the size of your square. If I want mine to be big enough, I can maybe put 33 or whatever. So let me try 33. And then I turn. So the turning here, we get 360 divided by 4 sides, and then you'll get 90. Showed you how to do that. Don't use calculators. Then after this, I put my pen up through the pen here. And then I put the pen up. Now I can come here and get my event here. And instead of saying space, I get when space, but instead of space, I want to choose S. So if someone presses S, when S is pressed, then erase everything under pen. And then go to random position, which is under motion. Then draw for me, it's telling it to draw for you a square. So I go to my blocks and I get the square, which is here. And that's what it's going to do. So when I press S, it's going to draw for me a square in random positions. If I press P, it's going to draw for me the pentagon. If I press the green flag, it gives me the triangle. So you can have all shapes under one program, as we can see, but it's the events which will be determining what you draw. So let me take some questions. And don't ask me about a circle, because that's what you're going to do in your breakout rooms. But if you want to ask, or if you're stuck drawing these shapes, triangle, pentagon, square, hexagon, nonagon, decagon, those, the one which has one side is the one I don't know how they call it. My teacher didn't teach me. And the one which has a shape which has 2 sides, I don't know how to call it. But then I know how to call a 3-sided polygon. That's a triangle. Then a square, 4 sides, pentagon, 5 sides. Then hexagon, 6 sides. Then how about a 7-sided polygon and 8-sided polygon? Someone will try. So who can tell me what we call a 7-sided polygon? Yeah, I'm going to tell you the octagon is for 8-sided polygon, and then nonagon, 9 for 9 is for 9-sided. Then maybe decagon is for 10-sided. But who can try for me the 7-sided polygon? Yes, I see. You can go ahead. Who is that? That's Kristen.
I think it's a heptagon.
It's a what?
Heptagon.
Heptagon. You type it in the chat and we see your spelling. But I think you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm so sure. Yes. Perfect. It's a heptagon. So we have some scientists here. And how about 11-sided polygon? How do we call an 11-sided polygon? Do we have a genius here? If you answer that, then you will be. Let's give, I see Hali Johan, you want to try?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, go ahead.
Teacher, it's called a hen. Teacher, I don't know
I
very
know,
well.
I know it's very hard to pronounce. I've gotten it from the internet.
No, teacher, I didn't. I
Difficult to
remember.
pronounce. No. If you're just reading it from the internet, it's going to be very difficult to pronounce. But Christine didn't get from the internet because she was able to pronounce the heptagon. So try to pronounce again. No, it's not a hectagon, Janine. So it's Whoever can pronounce that, then they didn't read it from the internet. Pentagon. So you can try to learn that from the internet, try to learn up to 20 sides and then have them go and scare your fellow classmates at school when the schools reopen, and then ask them, how do we call a 17-sided polygon? Then they open their eyes and then you tell them, when you guys were sleeping during holidays, for us, we were learning. So let's now proceed. If you have a question, please do before we proceed to the breakout sessions. Yes, Halle, I see your hand is up. Now, this time our breakout sessions are going to take only 4 minutes, strictly 4 minutes, and I want you to come up with an algorithm which draws a circle. It's very difficult, and I expect only one team to try come close to that. So let me send you to breakout sessions. So if you don't manage to come up with it, you should not feel bad, because I didn't expect you to get it right. So let's go to this, let me assign the breakout session rooms. So everyone just go to your breakout room. And you have exactly 4 minutes. So at 12:45, we shall be getting back here to present. So those who are still here, you're wasting your time. Everyone's supposed to go to their team and then you start over with the work. You have limited time. Akol and Enoch, you've not joined your teams. If anyone doesn't participate, then they are going to be suspended from the class. So Enoch, you're the one left here. Go to your class, click on join breakout room, and then go to your class.
Teacher, please may I assign me to my breakthrough room?
Which room?
Yes, room 3.
Okay, you can go. I've sent.
But it failed.
So
We
you
can
guys,
just show you what we had done.
were you sharing your screen?
Teacher, it's a call.
Okay. Why is your screen in black?
I have
But
no idea.
that's where the best learning experience happens anyway. So I see you are so close to getting it right. So you actually, if I was to give you a score, you would get 80 because I love your reasoning, just that it didn't work out. So keep thinking. Let's get to the next team. No, I would not give you 8, I would give you 60 because you did the other thing the other way. So let's get to hear from the next team, which is room 2, which has CM, Enoch, Trevor, and Trinity.
Just Solomon, can you see
Yes.
my screen?
Sure.
This is what I have done.
What you have done or your team has done?
My team.
Okay. Okay, so I think room 2 has gotten 100%. So well done. Let's get to the next team. You can stop sharing your screen, and then we have room 3, which has Ale and maybe Eliona. Just mute yourself if you're not speaking.
So this is what our team has done. But we have it's big. We tried to reduce the size, but I couldn't.
But you are close. You're close.
Teacher, it seems you're giving us our scores.
Fail.
So you get 50%. Let's get to room 4, which has Christine, Janine, Jasmine, Crew, and the rest.
Teacher,
Please share your screen.
I can show you my program.
Yes.
But
your program or your team program?
Okay, the one I did.
Not as a team, you did it on your own.
We did it as a team, but I guess some people didn't have ideas. So let me just show you.
So you share your screen and tell us who contributed.
I did on 2 different devices, so I can just show you.
Okay.
So teacher, that's my program.
So what does it? No,
I've
not
tried,
that.
but it's just doing nothing.
Just doing nothing. Let me see. Because you're repeating nothing. Okay. So for you guys, you have nothing on the screen. Maybe I would give you a 30%. No, because I can't see anything. The cat is just nasty. But that I'm fair. I'm fair enough. Well,
Yeah?
okay, how many marks do you want?
So like, how
many marks do you think you deserve?
Teacher, please, no, that's not correct. That's not fair, please.
That's not fair.
How many marks did I give you?
I think for doing nothing, you deserve a 20.
You gave room 120.
So I give you guys 20.
They give room
Certainly
30.
because that he has done nothing. That's all.
All right, let's move on to the
But I
next.
think my program is correct.
The program, if it was correct, then we would be seeing something happening. But okay, I'll give you 35. Now,
okay,
let's get the room which got 100 to tell us what they did. That is the room which has Trinity, Enoch, Trevor, CM. Share your screen and take us through what you did.
Yes. Yeah. I went. Where? Room 4. And I did it.
Is the gadget using? We can't see well.
Okay, you can just try to. Which gadget did you use for sharing the other time?
I think you should reduce the size.
So they were using a different gadget the time before.
Why don't you use the same gadget that you used the other time? Okay, you can now explain. Why don't you just build a new program? Why do you have to open it if you're sure about what you did? Unmute yourself, then you explain.
Teacher, this is what we did. A circle has 360 sides. So we go 360 degrees, divide by the sides of a circle, which are 360. So you get 1 degree. So when we were coding, as you can see here, can you see properly?
Yes.
As we did here, since 360 degrees divided by a circle of 360 degrees divided by the sides of a circle, which are 360, you get 1 degree. As we are told us, we made the sprite turn 1 degree, move 1 step, then we made it to repeat 360 times since a circle has 360 sides. So that's what we did.
So why do you have the move 1 step?
Move 1. It's just the number of steps we just used. We just put move 1 step.
Why did you come to that? Why did you make that decision?
Because we tried with other steps, but the circle was not smooth, not very smooth as it is now. So it gave us, so we put 1 to try and see.
Why do you even say, where is it written that a circle has 360 sides?
Teacher, we just estimated, we just thought about it.
How can we help to think about it as well?
I've ever had it once, but I've ever had it once that a circle had 360 sides, but I
Maybe
never
that's
researched to find out if it was true.
All right, that's brilliant anyway. So a circle, just like the earth is oval, or maybe the earth, to the scientists, the earth is not flat. The earth is a sphere, and it's a sphere or a circle which has 360 sides. That's why the continents are on their sides. We have the east, you have the west, we have the north, we have the south, southwest, northwest. All those sides, all those regions exist on sides. And if the earth is a circle, and we know that Africa is maybe to the right of the equator, or maybe I'm not so sure about that, but if we have people existing, or maybe countries existing on sides, then a circle has 360 sides. So why we are not able, when you get a ball, you are able to turn when you're spinning the ball, you are able to see, if you put maybe a mark at some point, when you turn to that point, you will be able to see that, that mark. So that turning, you're turning to the other side, which may be the 270th or 300th side, in order to see that dot that you made. So those people who say that a square, a circle has no sides, they are just seeing a circle with their own eyes, and they cannot see the sides because the sides are too small. As you're going to see, as you've been seeing here, the sides are too small, and they are moving only one step. So this is only one step, and when you see it closely, when you get maybe a microscope, or you get instruments that enable you to see tiny objects, you will be able to see sides on a circle. But since you're using your own eyes and the steps that the circle is moving are too small, you won't be able to notice that there are 360. You see it's now turning. That turning, it's turning one side by one side until it completes 360 degrees. So that's the logic behind drawing a circle. Knowing that a circle has 360 sides, and knowing that you have to get 360 degrees divided by 360 sides to get the number of angles to turn, which is 1 degree. And you're moving only one tiny step. If you move 2 steps or more, then the circle will be huge, and it will be weird. So let's move on. Today we want to build a game before we end this. We promised to build, because of time, we're just going to build a very, very basic game here, and which will guide you to build more advanced games within your week. Now, let me just share my other screen here. So this is in our lesson 5, we want to be able to develop a simple game, and we also want to understand the idea behind games. These are just simple 2D games. For 3D games, you will have to do more to come to that stage, which is in the launch stage. So creation of a game in Scratch, we are going to just make a basic game for a tennis, maybe the ball bouncing on the pedal, and then the scores are written. So let's try to see, to get a ball, the first thing to do is to delete the card from the stage. Everyone do that. You delete the card from the stage, then go to the sprites library and select a ball of your own choice. I prefer this one. Then reduce the size of the ball as shown. So after that, you come to paint. a sprite, then you're going to, don't worry, I'm going to do this with you. So we are going to paint our pedal, which the ball is going to be bouncing on. And after painting the pedal, we are now going to paint the dungeon, the dangerous line. If the ball touches this line, the game is over. So someone should be playing, moving left to right, this pedal to avoid the ball hitting the dangerous line. So let's just do this in Scratch. So I'll just start, do I need to save this? No. So let me just click on a new project. And in this case, I'm just going to come to delete the cut as we were told. Then I come to choose a sprite here, and I choose the ball, which is here. It even has different colors. After choosing a ball here, I need to come and paint. Come to choose a sprite, then go to paint. And to paint, I have to use, since it's a pedal, I'll just use the rectangle here, rectangle shape here. Then I change the color, I remove the outline. I don't want this outline. And this is now something I want to talk about for the last time. Let me just change my color here. So if you don't want, if I just drew this square here, you would realize that there would be a black outline here, as you see, because it's black. But if I don't want this black outline, I come to outline, then I click on this red line here, and then we shall not have an outline. So let me just now erase this. This is undo. And then I need to change, I remove the outline here. Then this color, I want it to be green. Or whichever color, I always like green because green says okay, even by traffic lights. Now, after this, you just draw a simple. You just make sure it is thin enough, like that. And then come here where there is sprite 1 and call this pedal, like that. So we said to the ball, we said we need to reduce the size of the ball. So I can come to ball here, and where there is size, let me annotate that. This is size, the size of the sprite. So when I click on the ball here, and I come to the size, the blue highlight has to show that I'm now clicking on the ball. Otherwise, the size will be changing another sprite. So when I click on ball and then I reduce the size maybe to 60, the ball is going to be small, and that's how I want it. The last thing to do is to come and paint the dangerous line. Don't forget to name. Me, I name this ball, I name this pedal, and this one is going to be danger. So to draw the dangerous line, I'll just come and click on line. And then I increase the thickness of the line to maybe 14. And let me make it to be color red. Then I just come down here and I draw, just make your cursor to go through until even you reach where the last sprite is, such that the line is long enough like this. And then come to sprite 1 and call it danger. Yes, the size of the ball matters because the ball has to be smaller than the pedal. If your pedal is bigger than the ball, if the ball is bigger than the pedal, then the game is not going to look cool. So I have pedal, ball, and danger here. Now I need to put my dangerous line down here. So I just click on it and bring it down using my cursor. And then I position my pedal somewhere here, such that the ball has enough time to bounce in random positions and then come and bounce on the pedal. So what you have to do first is to come and click on the pedal and then come to code. I want to make this pedal to be able to move such that the player can move it. So what I do here is I can say when green flag is clicked, event, when maybe green flag is clicked, or when any keys, I just always prefer the first block. You can use any event here. When green flag is clicked, I want to go to my control, and whatever I'm going to add is going to happen forever. That's why I get the loop. This is a loop which makes sure things happen forever, because the game should continue until someone stops it. Then I now get the if. The first if, which I will put inside here, but for now, let me just put here to illustrate. The first if is going to say, you go to sensing and you say, if the key, you are the one who decides which keys on the keyboard are going to be used to play your game. So you can say if key may be left arrow, that's on my left, is pressed. If someone, me, I'm going to use the keys on the computer here. And if you want, you can just draw the keys on the screen. For those who are using phones, you can draw arrows on the screen and you say, if this key is pressed, then take the ball to the left. We shall come to that if you are maybe in the next lesson when we have time. But you can also paint the arrows on the screen and make the user to use those arrows to control the ball by saying, if this key is pressed, then do this, what I'm going to add here. So if key left arrow is pressed, then I go to motion and I'm going to take the ball. I change, instead of saying move this time around, I just say change X by -10 because it's going to the left, and to the right, it's going to change by 10. So I go and get another if for the other side, put it around here. This is now going to go inside here. And if key, still under sensing, I say if key space, and instead of using space, then I just select right arrow now on my right. If someone presses the key, the right key, this pedal should go on the right. And this is how I achieve that. I go to motion and then I get change X by 10. If it's going up, if you want it to go up, you say change Y, which is here. But since I don't want mine to go up or down, I just use change X and change Y to make, so I only need 2 if statements like this. Meaning when I press the green flag here, I can now move my pedal. So the player will be moving the pedal either to the left or moving it to the right, like that. So let me say if on edge, you can say if on edge bounce back such that it doesn't go past. So if we, yes, so that can even make the game interesting because it bounces and it goes to another place where someone didn't expect. Or you can say, instead of saying if you want it to bounce and come back to the same line, you can say set rotation style here to left and right. And now when we try out, it doesn't enter through the wall. And that's how you can make now the player to comfortably play the game without the pedal going to hide in the wall. So if on edge it bounces, but it doesn't rotate, instead it just comes back in the same line like that. So let's now code the ball. This is all you have to code for the pedal. The only things you're going to code are the ball and the pedal. The dangerous line, you don't do anything with it. No code should be here. So it's only the pedal that I added the forever, and then I said if on edge this should bounce back and set rotation style to left and right. And if someone is pressing the key left arrow, then I'm going to change X by -10. So I go to the left, as you can see. When I click this key, it's going to the negative side of X. This is the positive side of X for the key right arrow here. So when I go to the ball, and I say, I go to events and say, when green flag is clicked, what do I want the ball to do? First of all, I want to position the ball somewhere here. I first position it here, above, and then I go to motion and I say, go to maybe that position here, meaning the ball will always start from up. And so when I click the green flag, even though my ball was here, when I click the green flag, the ball is going to go up. And that's what this instruction means. After going up, I want this ball to, whatever is going to happen, it should happen forever. So I go to my control and I get the forever here. So what do you want to repeat continuously? The ball should be moving continuously. So I go to motion and then I decide to get the move. But if I make it to move 10 steps, it will be so fast and the user will not be able to pass. So I can make it to be maybe 6 for the starters, but then the ball is moving in a direction that I don't want it to move. I want it to move from down to up or up to down. So that's where I get the point in direction here. Point in direction here. And I first get another point in direction. The first one, let me just have it outside here. When someone clicks the green flag, then it should point downwards, which is 180 degrees. So when I now try out here, green flag, it's going to be moving downwards. But when it reaches the edge, we haven't told it to bounce back. So, but the bouncing back is not going to be important because we want it to bounce on this green flag. And if it touches the red line, it should not go up, but it should say game over. So after moving these steps, then you need to bring an if statement here. For now, let me just make it to bounce back to show you what, if on edge bounce here, and then I show you what it's doing. It's now bouncing from down to up. But that would make the game very easy. So even right now, it's passing through the pedal. It doesn't sense the pedal. Now to make it to sense the pedal, you come and go to control, and then you get the if here, put it just below the if on edge here, but still inside the forever. And now you're going to command it to say, if it is touching pedal, which is under sensing here. And the block which we can customize here is the block which says touching mouse pointer here. Instead of touching mouse pointer, I can select pedal, which is here. So when I click on pedal, this will show if touching pedal, and I put it inside the if. And then now this instruction reads, if touching pedal, then what should you do? If touching the pedal, you should point upwards. So I come to motion, and then maybe I point upwards. So point in direction 0 degrees. And then you turn, because it should not, if you just make it to be coming at the same point, and then the person is going to pass the game. So you have to make a game a little bit challenging by using the turn. So I can turn, and the turning should not just be maybe 15 degrees. You can come to operators and get the random, pick random. The degrees should be picked randomly from maybe -60 to +60. So it has a wide range of degrees to choose from randomly. Now let me try out this and you see. So now it can turn any random degrees. So to make the game a little bit interesting, you can come and add sound. So you come to sound and then start pop sound here. Each time the ball touches the pedal, each time it touches the pedal, it's going to play a pop sound. And you can come also to costumes and then make it to go to the next costume. Yeah. And then now let me show you what happened. So it plays the pop sound and the color of the ball changes. Now, if you're finished that, then you need to come to what if it touches the dangerous line? You come and get another if under control. If and put it below. Don't put it inside another if. This is wrong. It has to be an outside this if, but inside the forever like that. And then you add instructions for the dangerous line and say, if touching, you go to sensing, and instead of touching pedal, you now choose danger and say, if touching danger, then you can just say game over. You can go to looks and just say game over. Game over, and you come to control and stop everything. Stop all, which is under control inside this if. And now we are 90% almost done with the game. We are now going to add the score after this. So let me, before even we add the score, when I click the green flag here, my ball is working, my game is working fine, but what if it clicks the red? It says game over, and then the ball, the game stops. But before even it stops, I want the ball to go to this position here. Let me show you the position where the ball maybe started from. So let me just do this, and I just duplicate this position. This go to means that's the position where the ball should go to. And I can just put it straight here, such that it first goes to this position, then stops all. So when I click green flag, and then I let it to, so it will say game over, then it goes back and stops everything. Now let's add score. So to add score, score is a variable. Yesterday we spoke about variables and we were using them to make amazing calculators. But what if I made a variable? I click and make a variable and I call it score. It will be storing people's score. So when I make this variable, initially, when someone clicks the green flag, I can add it here. Or if I want the code to be short, I can just get another green flag here and say when green flag is clicked, then I set, make sure you change this from my variable to score. So I set score to be 0 because when the game starts, the score should be 0. Let me just delete the my variable. I right click on my variable and delete it, not to confuse you. And now we have on the score here as our variable. Initially, Scratch gives you the my variable, but you can always delete it. Then after setting the score to maybe 0, then that's all. Then what you have to do is when the ball touches the pedal, then you change score by 1 or by 2, whatever you want your game to be. So when the ball touches the pedal, I bring this change score by 1 inside the if, which has the touching here. And here, instead of saying game over alone, I can say game over. Then I come to operators here and I get the join here. And I put here, I can say game over. game over. Your score is, then inside the score here, inside banana, I'll come to variables and I just add the score. I get the button here for score and I put it where there's banana like that. So let me show you what happens. So my score is changing. I now have one. Each time the ball hits the pedal, I get one score. So what if I let it to fall? It's going to say my score is 4 and then it stops the game. So the game is complete. Now we are left with adding some amazing background. You can paint your own background, download and upload from the internet, or you just come to Backstage here and then you get any. Me, I always prefer, let me use this blue sky, and then I can put my pedal around here. So when I press the green flag, now my score is changing. And now to add level is what we are going to do next week, to add the levels and to build more games. But because of time, I can't teach you how to add levels right now. But if you learn how to use broadcast, then you will be able to change broadcast other levels and increase the speed of the ball in other levels. To increase the speed of this ball, I just increase from 6 steps, maybe to 10 steps. The more the steps, the faster the ball. As you can see, I will not even be able to score 10 in my own game. Okay. See, the game becomes hard. If you want it to be slower, you can change this maybe to 4 steps or 3 steps, such that even your young sibling can get 100. But that would be a little bit boring. So at least 5 or 6 or 7, that would be fast enough. Then you can start playing your games. So that's it for now. If you're done, if you have questions, if you're finished developing your game, you can let us know. But let's take at least 2 minutes before we end this class.
Yeah, finished.
You're finished. That's very good. Let's wait. And also, if you have questions, please ask if you have not gotten any point here. Yes, I see Jeff.
Teacher, how do you put the music? Can you put like different music?
Yes, that's a very good question. And I would expect it from a girl. So to add music, I can come to Backstage to have a background music playing. And then I can say when green flag is clicked, what I can do is to maybe come to sound here and I play any song until done. So you can download any music or get any music which is on your device, which you want to play, or you can just come here to sound. When I come to sound, I'll be able to come to this. Let me annotate it such that we don't get lost. So this icon here is where we can get music which Scratch has made for you. We have a lot of amazing good music from Scratch. So when I click this, there is a lot of music, but here these are just sounds. But if you want music, you can maybe search for birthday, or if you don't, all the music which is here is not good for you. For example, me, I have some music on my computer. So I'll just come here and instead of clicking this chooses a sound, I'll come to upload a sound from my phone or from my computer. So I click on upload. And then maybe let me search if I have any gaming sound here. So let me search here, game. So nothing. Let me see. So I come to downloads, then I look for some music here. I don't have music on my computer. I thought I do. So let me try to look for some music here. Yes, I have my favorite song here. So I click on it, then it starts importing it, as you can see here. It's importing the song. After importing, now Habib is going to be here, which is my best song, since I'm from Amini's regime. Now, after uploading the music that you want, you click on code, and then you select this arrow, which is after pop, and then the song you have uploaded will also exist here. So when I come back to my main to click the green flag here, the music is going to start playing, and you can control it to repeat until the game is over. That's what you're going to now learn next week, how to use broadcasts.
Teacher, can I see the programming for your pedo?
For my pedo, this is what I program. So those who want to hear my music, let me just share computer sound. Good. Then when I click the green flag, let me first reduce this to maybe 6 for me to be able to play again.
Teacher.
Yes, please.
Teacher.
Yes.
The programming for my pedo is the same, but Fred moves up and down.
If it moves up and down, then for you selected change Y instead of change X.
I selected change X by -10.
Do you have this set rotation style?
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I've seen my mistake.
All right.
Yeah, I've
nice.
seen my mistake. Okay, thank you.
Yes, hi Harriet. Harriet is saying hi. Is everything okay? Or do you want to share anything? I see Christine has her hand up.
I was asking about the assignment about the calculator of yesterday.
Yes, you want to present yours?
Yes.
My
Nice.
brain is some problem.
Okay, well, let me give you a chance to present your calculators, as others are still completing the games. So whoever wants to present and they get those bonus marks for their certificate, you can please do that. Don't forget to tell us your name while you're presenting. Hey, no one is sharing their screen.
I'm going to share.
All right.
Excuse me, Teacher Solomon, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
I was asking, does the size of the ball matter?
Yes, the ball should be smaller than the pedal.
Okay, teacher.
But it doesn't matter logically.
Excuse me, teacher, how do you put sound again?
How you put sound, let me just share my screen before. Let's first, let me just first share before I give a chance to others to share. So I said to put a sound, I go to put the background sound here. To put the sound of maybe The pop, I just put it inside the if, such that when the ball bounces, the middle stays pop. And then to put the music, I come to stage, I click on stage here. Then I click on sounds. Then I come here where there's this icon of sound. And then I click on upload from the internet. Then I look for, oh, not from the internet. After downloading and it's on your computer, you then upload it from your computer. And then you press OK, the song is going to come here. And then you go back to code and select it here. Let's give the chance to those who want to share their screen now. Whoever was sharing the screen, please go ahead.
So when I press number 1 plus 2, it already says 1.
So your calculator is not working.
Yes, it is not.
All right, maybe we shall get to. I want someone to present when your calculator is working. If it's not working, you can still continue with the assignment, and maybe we shall get a chance in the next class. If you fail in the next class, then maybe we shall show you, or I'll share with you a link to the finished project, and then you see what we did. Okay, who else wants to share before we end? All right. Now let me see. Okay, so if there are no questions, and first of all, if no one is sharing, then we can call it a nice weekend. And please ensure that you follow through the Coding Unlimited emails that will be sent to you. We send them to you just to enable you to practice, keep on practicing, get familiar with the program before we meet again on Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, if you always have questions, if you join the WhatsApp group, you can always ask. And if you join the Hangouts group, you ask anyone in the group is free to answer. We want to foster teamwork and collaboration. So for those of you who came in today, make sure we shall share this recorded video and watch all the recorded videos that we have been sharing via email, or that will be, if you don't receive our emails or WhatsApp messages, then you re-register or send us a WhatsApp message on this number, then we can add you to our emailing list, or we can send you a link to join the WhatsApp group. Sorry, I just sent the number to one person. So that's our WhatsApp number. You see, Janine and Jasmine, you have your question up, your hand up.
My teacher, when I tried to sign up on the Hangouts group, it said it was an error. That's why I just used the WhatsApp group.
Sorry, we are going to send the Hangouts. Let me see if I can change that right now. So I think right now, if you try to join, I can. So we shall try. I'll try to share with the team to try to modify that. I think I'm not able to. I don't have the privilege to modify that, but they will try to check, and then by the end of today, you will be able to join the Hangouts team group. Sorry. So let's get another question. Yes, all the videos are on the. If you look for the videos on our channel, which have Coding Heroes. This is the Coding Heroes videos are the ones for your cohort. Let me just share that link again here for the YouTube channel. That's where all your videos for your classes are posted. You search for the previous videos which have Coding Heroes. So that's the link to the channel. So you have to follow the link, our channel, then you will see the videos which have Coding Heroes. And let me just show you what happens when you click on the so when you follow this, you will see this channel, then just click on videos. And then the ones which have Scratch Coding Heroes, you will first go and look for until you reach the one which has day 1, where is Scratch Coding Heroes day 1, then start with that one, then you come to day 2, day 3, until today we are going to post day 5. And even for those who want to learn HTML, you are not part of that class, but we have also videos which we post for HTML for those who are who want to develop websites. They are very easy to understand, but if you don't understand, you're going to have a chance to learn web development in Ignite stage for your cohort as well. But for now, just be looking out for Scratch Coding Heroes program, and only follow that. The rest will confuse you. Any other question?
Just Solomon.
Yes.
We can't present because our power is off.
No worries, we shall have a chance to present. By the way, before we end this class, you're going to have final project presentations after next weekend. And it will also give you a chance to participate in the Young Innovator. We always have a competition among us young children to come up with innovative ideas. You don't have to make a game. You don't have to make, you can just have any project that can help people. And then you design and present it. And you will be able to see some videos of the competition on the YouTube channel when you check out and see what others present. Then you can also think about the idea you'll build. But after next week, you will be given guidelines of how to come up with your presentation for the final project. Do you have any other question?
Yes, Teacher Solomon.
Yes.
About last time's assignment, you said they'll send the link via email, but we have up now we have not yet received the email, and we also sent a message to your WhatsApp group, to your WhatsApp, but still we have not yet received the email.
So if you don't receive do you receive the Coding Unlimited emails?
Coding Unlimited. Yeah, we received. No,
yes.
Email.
Yeah.
The email we have not yet. We received via WhatsApp.
Maybe the email that you registered had an error. So you need to send us your new email. Maybe you missed out a number, that's why. But all emails that you registered for this cohort were added to the mailing list.
Okay, I'll resend it via WhatsApp.
All right.
Okay.
Let's have hear from Mogume.
Yes, teacher, I get the emails and they send the handout. They send the handout links, but whenever I tap on those links, it always says there is an error.
Let me share my emails and see what you're talking about. So these are the kind of emails that you receive. You mean these for the handouts, these ones are the ones you mean when you click on them, they bring an error?
Yes, teacher, the links don't work.
No, teacher, the Hangouts. The Hangouts group.
Joining the Hangouts group.
Yes, whenever I click on it, it says there's an error.
Okay, we are going to let, yes, we are going to
Yes, like
rectify.
that.
I'm going to let,
Yeah, that's what you say.
sorry, but I wonder how everyone else was able to join here. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to let the technical team know, and then within the next 1 hour, it should be fixed, or the next 30 minutes is going to be fixed. So you can try out maybe after 30 minutes, it's going to be working.
Yes, thank you, Tina.
Okay, any other question? Christine?
Teacher Solomon,
Yes.
please may we have the link to the code lecture for today?
Yes, the code lecture, actually the code lectures are easy. The previous one was bit.over, it's code lecture 3. So when you add to that link, let me just add it here. When you add 4 to it, let me send it in the chat. Then I add 4. Then I'll share in the chat here. So that's the link to the code lecture. Today's code lecture was 4. And let me send you the code lecture 5 as well, because we also used it for the game. So those are the 2 links you have to follow. We shall also send them via email or WhatsApp. But if you want to receive them early, then there you go.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
About my game. How did I make the ball change?
The ball to change the color?
Yeah.
That's the change costume, next costume block.
Then I put it.
This next costume. My ball, when I click on costumes, my ball has different costumes here. If your ball has only one costume, then you paint other costumes such that it can be changing.
Okay.
Yes. Any last question? I have to go to church. Okay, if there are no questions, then I want to thank all of you for sparing your time to come and learn with us. And I encourage you to keep on practicing throughout the week. Ask a lot of questions in the group. Actually, your group is very boring because you guys are not asking questions. So try in this week to ask so many questions such that you can learn more and be able to present outstanding projects, because projects which will be strong enough are the ones which will move on to the Ignite stage. So you still have a chance to ask questions in the chat, in the WhatsApp group, in the Hangouts group, or in the Google Classroom. So wherever whichever team you're part of, you just feel free to ask there, then we shall respond to you, or your teammates, anyone. If Eliona asks the question and Enoch knows the answer, please don't hesitate to answer the person. And that's why we have those groups, to enable our teammates to collaborate with us, to answer questions, to guide us, and let us grow together as a team of young innovators. Thank you very much, and I wish you a happy week ahead. And please be safe. So those who are asking the link to the Google Classroom, I think I can share that as well here. Let me just share in the chat the link to the Google Classroom.
But teacher, why do we need to why do we need the Google Classroom?
Some people don't have whichever is easier for you. Whichever is easier for you to join is what you don't have to join all of them. You just join one is enough for you. If you're okay with WhatsApp, you join WhatsApp. If you're okay with Google Hangouts, you join Google Hangouts. If you're okay with Google Classroom, which is also some people, each of the groups has teams in there, has people in there. Like if you go to the Google Classroom, this is what you will see. And we have some people here who can be able to guide you. We have teachers, And then we have also fellow students who will be, so each group has students, and it's upon you to decide which team you want to belong to. But in any group, you'll be able to ask and be answered. Does that satisfy you? All right. Have a nice week ahead.